weird. I thought I was live, everybody, and share some notes that I have. There's a lot going on in the cosmos and in the spirit realm, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's a lot going on. So I hope everybody is doing well. That you guys are blessed. You guys feel safe during these times. You guys are protecting your energy. So um, yeah, so let's go ahead and just hop into. I'm gonna like share some of my notes that I have with you guys, and I'm gonna pull and look into the energies of the collective. I was guided to share a message about sleeping and resting. So knowing the difference between when you're being called to rest versus now that it's time for you to start getting active and moving again. Because good thing about quarantine during that period where we all went through the whole corona, as I call it, the whole thing with that, um, we all had to, sit our asses down and spend time with ourselves. And it was giving us that time to snap out of the matrix for a little bit and really just slow down because, you know, being in a hamster wheel in this physical realm, in this physical body, we're constantly having to do this, constantly having to do that, whether it's work, whether it's school, whether it's doing the same thing over and over, that you don't get time to really sit and just be with yourself. That was a blessing. So a lot of us needed to rest and spend time with our families and with ourselves, most importantly, getting in tune and in touch with ourselves, which is a good thing. Now I feel for some, it's like it's time to actually start coming out again. You start motivating yourself because what I'm finding is like spirit will guide me. Spirit will guide me into periods of rest. Spirit will guide me into periods of isolation and going, going within at times. Too much of it is readily like too much. It's too much at times. Spirit will guide you, but there is a point where it's off as well. Thank you. It's off too sometimes where we want to rest. And you got to pay attention to your body, whether that's something within your body that is feeling depleted of something, whether it's what you're eating or not eating, or your sleeping patterns, or some type of energies. Um, it's too much energy around you. I was reading a article and it was very interesting. Someone, it was actually not an article, it was a post on Instagram, and this woman was saying that some of these things that we think are ascensions could actually be spiritual attacks. I would take that with a grain of salt. I would actually use your discernment with that because you could tell. And that's why I'm going to share what I've been going through these past couple of days. Um, what I've been going through within myself and stuff like that, like the different happenings and experiences, to let y'all know that this shit is real and it's not a game. I don't post on here as much as I used to because I be going through my own spiritual stuff. So different things that I've been going through, other people around me have been going through, it's helped open my eyes to a lot. I wish I would have documented. I wish I would have documented so much of the things that I want to share with you, but it's like it happens and it is what it is. So, body symptoms, pay attention to your body symptoms at this time to like discern whether how your body is speaking. This is another form of intuitive messages. A lot of people, y'all already up on game. You already know how to read your body and what your body is telling you, what it's saying. My activation started with my yoni. So I was guided to get two books, and I shared this with you guys on my channel before. It's on my Instagram. Um, the Sacred Woman book by Queen Afua, and Pussy Prayers. How to tap in and tune into your portal. So if you're a feminine, if you're a woman, that was my first activation into tapping into my body and really listening to it. Because it's enough to know, okay, I have a pain here, I have a pain there. Um, I have an ache, or I don't understand why my head is like hurting like this. Like, you gotta speak to your body, listen to your body, and what it's telling you to know what's going on with you energetically. And that's why I say not everything is an ascension symptom, not everything is Kundalini. Not everything is a spiritual attack, and not everything could be just, physical illnesses. And physical illnesses, anyway, spiritually, are just physical manifestations of something going on with self spiritually. So, for example, say you're releasing, like, you have really bad stomach pains and maybe you have diarrhea, I don't know, or vomiting. You're releasing something. What you're releasing, you got to tune into that as well. Hey, sis. What's good? So, with my yoni, like, reading those books, it activated me to pay attention to my body. So, fast forward, trying to figure out how to put all of this together. Spirit help me. I had a really, really bad peppermint. That's funny you said that, sis. I had a really bad pain in my back from like the top of my shoulder blade all the way down to my lower back on my left side. The left side is our feminine energy. And one of my sisters put me on that also it represents your past self. So she's like, maybe you're moving through something from your past and you're releasing it, you're letting it go. And I was like, because I had did like a reading that night and I was talking about karmic partners and connections. I was like, shit, something attached itself to me. I was like, what is this? Or did it activate something that I need to release from a past connection? So I was like going through it. I was in pain. I was crying. I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, those feelings. And it reminded me of a season that I had in 2017, probably 18. I can't remember. I think it was 17 when I was in a fucked up living situation. And I was like still working through, still doing my readings and stuff, still, doing my spiritual work. And I was like, am I getting attacked? Because my throat chakra was like so like tight, like something was gripping my throat. I was always clearing my throat. I couldn't hardly read. I don't know if some of you guys remember that, but I used to always go like, like all the time. It was like a period, maybe a month or two, or maybe 2 weeks or something, that my throat was always messing with me when I would read. And I'm like, is it my cats? Because I had cats living with me. I'm like, am I getting allergic reactions? What is going on? And I remember I just started vomiting, and I wasn't vomiting anything but spit, like saliva. Nothing was coming up. Nothing would come up but that. So I was releasing something. So it reminded me of that with my back, and I was like, nothing I did helped. I was putting peppermint oil on it. I was putting this. I was putting that on it. I was praying over myself, speaking in tongues, doing spirit baths, all kind of shit. It wouldn't leave until I faced something within myself, and that's when it left. That's when that pain left. But it was also something with my heart chakra too, because it was like a heavy energy, like something was sitting on my chest, or like my chest was being squeezed. It was like that. So I was dealing with that, and other things too, like my sister's going through some weird shifts as well. Like she's shedding, like I'm not shedding as much as she is, but like skin peeling. So some of you guys may have skin peeling. That could be weather change for some of you, or it could be like you're literally shedding your skin, like new energy coming in. It's just a physical manifestation of it. Then you have headaches. Where is the headaches coming from? Where are the ear pains coming from? That could be crown chakra. That could be throat chakra. If you're having tooth pains, different things is manifesting itself, just to let you know where your body is at and what it's saying to you. I would follow, if you guys have an Instagram, follow this page if you're not already. It's called Aces of the Moon, like ace, like tarot aces, Aces of the Moon. And they do a lot of energy updates. But like I said, use your discernment, because not everything spiritual all the time, and not everything is an energy upgrade, and not everything is a spiritual attack. You just gotta discern what's the difference. Aces of the Moon, yes. Thank you, sis. So is what I was picking up about the like sleep and rest. Let me find this page. I'm gonna find what she said, because I wanna read it verbatim. I resonate with some of it, but I'm not going to put all of it into Um, I'm not gonna put all of it into dark energy's hands that when we go through these changes, but the post said, um, dark energy, they literally tug on iron stores, minerals for energy. This can and will cause weight fluctuations, skin and appetite issues. It can happen literally in days. When it backfires on them, the weight just falls off of you. That's interesting because I notice that happening. Like, my weight fluctuates, but my eating habits are really weird. There will be like a time where my body is like, bitch, eat, 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 eat. And I'm like, okay. And there'll be times where it's like, no, don't eat anything, just rest. Or I just don't have an appetite. So my body is always doing weird things. So take that with a grain of salt. I discovered this 12 years of spiritual attacks, no medical information to back me until I found an Indian doctor, holistic man, who was in support of my research and symptoms and his vast knowledge. Energy vampires will stop at nothing. So you gotta be careful with that. Yes, protect your energy, you guys. That's why I don't show my face anymore. I haven't in a while. I'm not saying that I will never show my face on my readings ever again, but it it's like it attracts bad energy, or like, not attracts bad energy. I don't want to say that. It sounds stupid. But people get the wrong idea, because people, if they're only looking at you from a superficial level, and they see what they see, and even sometimes with my breasts and shit, I know, like, okay, my boobs sometimes be a problem. It is what it is. If people are not paying attention to the message, and they're paying attention to what a person looks like, and you start attracting all these weirdos that they think they're in love with you and all this weird shit, and you might even attract people with. And another thing too, not just that, but I don't want people having my face in their head if they have some type of negative thoughts. I don't want them watching me and looking at me with negative intentions, because I say shit that triggers people. I know that for a fact. I will say things that piss people the fuck off. And at this point, it's like, if I'm working for spirit, divine spirit, the alpha, the omega, the higher source, higher power, and I'm working in love, it is what it is. It's going to trigger people, and I don't give a fuck at this point. I'm not here to people please. I'm not here to read for the Matrix Collective. I'm not here to feed your fancy and tell you that the steak is really tasty when it's really nasty and it's bloody, and I'm not here to tell you that. So I'm only doing what I'm guided to do, and I realize that people, they get in their feelings. People are so quick to jump on doing some spell work, not knowing what the fuck they're doing. People use their powers to do all kind of negative shit. If you don't like something somebody said, you're gonna put a hex on them, or you feel like somebody coming from you, you're gonna put a hex on them. But unfortunately for you, boo, it's not gonna work. That it's not gonna work. You're in a high vibration. You can't fuck with me. Sorry. Um, so I'm just cautious of that. I don't want my face in people's mind. So, oh wow. You said you had a falling out. Yeah, you can't have people like that. Um, I understand. I can have a level of compassion for people. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I just want you guys to further extend your awareness of yourself, your body, where you're at with yourself spiritually. Anything that you're working through, look to spirit to help you and guide you, because it will happen. I've been doing a lot of spiritual work lately, not just for myself, but for family, for friends, and I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I'm spiritually tired, but I'm still moving. I'm still working. It's not the strength of me as a person, as a human being. It's not my strength. It's God's strength that's moving through me. It's not me, because I'm tired, but I still have that desire to still help and to still read. But there's times where I can't always read when I want to, so I feel bad because I feel like I'm not consistent with my readings and stuff like that. But I have to honor myself. Yeah. But I was doing some spiritual work for one of my sisters, and she was talking about how she was having some weird dreams and, you know, having some spiritual attacks. And that's another thing I want to talk about is the dream world, which is spirit world. Protect your energy when you're in that space. It's a lot going on with that, and some of you guys may be pulled into your sleep, but just make sure that you protect yourself when you're in that space, especially if you're like doing spiritual work in your sleep. You'll know because it's like you're not fully rested, even though you slept 8 hours, you're so tired, or you had like a crazy dream where you were like doing a lot in the dream, or could have been fighting, you could have been protecting someone could have been protecting you in a dream, or you could have been on foot doing something, like a lot of movement. But I was helping my sister like to identify what the energy was that was coming to her. And we were both I was explaining to her what I was seeing in my spiritual eye, and she was explaining what she was seeing, and it was like we were in the same space at the same time, but explaining it in a different angle. It was so weird. And that's why I say like this stuff is real. Like spirit is amazing. But after that I got spiritually attacked after I helped her with that. So just protect your energy. Um, I'm not on here to sugarcoat anything. I feel like I kind of want to cuss the new age shit, whoever created that. I want to cuss them out a little bit because they painted this picture for a lot of people, and it's like, it pisses me off that people are so like disillusioned, like they're so caught up in, oh, everything is so negative if you're not talking about rainbows and butterflies and twin flames and chakras and singing bowls. That stuff is a part of our spiritual journeys, yes, but there's other sides to things that you also need to talk about. It would be a disservice to just not prepare spirit soldiers, you know. Um, Now he looks good. But it's like I feel like kind of want to call people out because it's like y'all know better, and I know like somebody probably gonna get on me about this, but I have to say it. I'm gonna read. I promise I'm gonna read. I'm reading right now actually, but I feel like I need to say this. I want to say this because my sister had like sparked something in me. She was like, I don't know who told these people that twin flames was this and twin flames was that, but these people that are selling this lie, they gonna get it. And I was like, cause my sister, she's like war all the time. Like she all about war. She like, they're gonna get it. And I'll just be like, sometimes you do it a little too much. Like we can't say what people's judgments are going to be, but at the same time, it's like if you know that you're tapping spiritual things that you've been divinely given the authority to, because not everybody has the authority to truly tap into spiritual things. Some people do it without that permission and it backfires, or before they're truly ready. Sometimes we go into these things ignorantly. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. I hope you and your baby's doing well. Much love. And it's like, y'all shouldn't be, because I feel like this. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be very mindful of how I word this because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. But there is a lot of readings and readers, and I'm not just speaking here on YouTube. It's a lot of sugarcoating and excluding the truth. Because if you're a true light worker, you're not going to exempt the shadow aspect of all things in spirituality, including twin flames, because the topic of love itself is such a popular thing. But the energy of love is so needed in this world and in this universe. It is needed. Greetings. It is a beautiful energy. It is a very powerful energy. That's what we need in the world. We need love in this universe and in this world. We do. But it's like, because people are so caught up in wanting to be accepted and liked, they're willing to sell a lie and feed into keep up with this matrix and this lie and relationships, and they exclude the part of self-love. Not every popular reader is um, acting out of, not acting in integrity. Some of them do. I say this to not bash anybody. If you are a reader watching or you want to relay this message to be messy, make sure that you deliver it the right way. That any reader that is sitting up on here sugarcoating and shit, and they're excluding the shadow aspect of healing and work and self-love, like really getting into what self-love is and what honoring self is, even in these connections, and not feeding people what they want to hear. Oh, this person loves you and they're crazy about you. Like, that's a fragment piece of what you should be talking about. There's nothing wrong with talking about how someone feels about you, reading into that, where the connection is. But keep it 100. You know better. If you're truly a light worker, you know that this isn't something, that it's not a thing. We're not cult people. We're not meant to stay in a hive mind. We're hive minded energy, like people that follow a celebrity. Let's say like Beyonce following. Like, this isn't supposed to be a thing where everybody just hops on it, and because that's how you know like something's off. It's like something's off. Like, y'all not telling the whole truth, and that's something wrong with that. If you truly are a divine counterpart, you know that it's not all peaches and cream. Like, it's not all of that, like what you're making it out to be. People are doing a disservice to a lot of people, and a lot of people are not in divine unions because they're not assigned to do spiritual work like that. Like, this is it's not a romance thing first and foremost. I just have to say that it's not that. That is a part of it. That is the catalyst of it. The romantic aspect of it is part of it. But that is not the whole. Anybody that's truly in a divine union will tell you that. Like, I'm not the only one. I'm not just speaking out of term. I'm not just speaking out of my ass. It's not for the glory of self. It's not about a self thing. So anybody coming on here just telling you what you want to hear, oh, this person feels this about you, and they're saturating your whole fucking timeline with this reading every 5 minutes, but they're not talking about what's going on inside of you, what you need to be healing, what you need to be doing, what's the depth of what your person is really dealing with, then they're doing you a disservice. Like, what are you doing? You're going in a circle waiting for somebody to come back into your life, like, or is this my twin? Like, we get caught up in stage one of the whole thing, the infatuation aspect of it all, the looking outside of self aspect. You don't surpass that level, then what are you doing? Otherwise, it might not be a true divine connection. It might just be an obsession or an infatuation with somebody that you do have spiritual connection with, because we're all spiritually connected in essence. But it's a difference between being divinely assigned to a person, or a person being a part of your soul tribe and their spiritual work with that. This here is spiritual work that I do. Your spiritual work could be helping kids. Your spiritual work could be writing music for people to heal people, working in a hospital, starting a holistic business. That could be your spiritual service. Your person has a purpose as well. If it's just focusing on the love shit all the time, you're not serving anything to humanity. And it's funny that they preach that, oh, you guys are meant to have a life purpose together, and you guys have a soul mission, but nobody's talking about mission. Who's talking about mission? Everybody's talking about how this person fucking feels about you, and the karmics is doing this. And yes, that is a very important factor as well, because some karmic connections are evil energies too. They're being used. They're being used by evil spirits too. Some karmics are just there to play their role. They're not all that bad. Typical relationship that doesn't work out, it's not meant to. And then there's those karmic connections that are meant to cripple you and keep you stuck. And some karmic connections are not romantic. I say this all the time. Could be family, could be friends, so-called people that say that they love you, those types of things. But nobody's talking about mission. And I rarely come across a person that speaks on twin flames, or that speaks on divine counterparts, that speaks on divine mission, light work. I rarely come across people talking about that. It's very rare. I've been blessed to come across some readers, and these are readers that are not popular on any platform, but you come across those gems every now and then. They're not the one with 100K subscribers and followers, not a lot of them at least. It's rare. You can still find truth in a lie, or you can still find truth in a half truth because it's half truth, but the nitty gritty, it's not popular. It's not popping. Not everybody likes it. Not everybody wants to hear it. Not everybody wants to hear the real. So they're not going to get a lot of viewers and they're not going to get a lot of subscribers because they don't fit into the Matrix storyline, if that makes sense. They're not here to feed the masses. So it's not going to resonate with everybody, unfortunately. Um, yeah. It's been a long journey for self, sis, as well. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. People saying, I mean, I've heard people say that their twin, whatever, is not in the physical realm, and it's a possibility. Not everybody's story is the same because at the end of the day, you are the flame as well. You are that spark. You are that light. So it's not that you can't light your own flame without another person being present, but you do have people in your environment and your surroundings that may also be light workers. That could be your soul tribe and so on and so forth. But you guys are supposed to be your own leaders in your own spark of flames. It's not supposed to be a cult thing. Like that's this new age stuff has really got people twisted. Like y'all sold people a dream. Like you fed them Skittles and told them that it was medicine, and now they're like sucked and hooked on the sugar. They're not getting the medication that they need. They're not being healed. They're not getting the solution. So I'm saying this, all of this to say, because it's something that um, it's been like on me heavy. And my sister had made a point, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna be honest. Her take on it might be a little bit different, but because she was like, they gonna get it. People that's out here telling these lies. I feel like if you know better what you're doing, and you're selling people a lie because you want a quick dollar, because you know people are desperate for answers, or you feel like people are desperate for your love and they want to know what's going on with their love partner, because I do believe that love readings, they are necessary because they are here to help us heal, not just tell us what we want to know solely. You know, is this person the one, and the things that we ask, and there's nothing wrong with that because you have the right to know those things. But it should also be other layers and deeper layers of going into something and showing you something. So people that know better, that's just coming on here to get money, or on any other platform to just use people to get money. Oh, I'm going to talk about, oh, they want to fuck you today and how they want to fuck you, and that's all they talk about. That's cool. I mean, I like the little freaky readings too. Okay, I do. But if that's it, if y'all, like, you guys have to be careful. Not 700,000. Because it's like spirituality is such a hot thing now. Like, it's a trend, it's a fad, it's cool. It's cool to like proclaim, oh, I'm a reader. Because the thing is, we all have intuition. That's the thing. We all have intuition, we all have a connection to source, whether we're connecting with that divine source, that pure source, or we tapping into benevolent energies, and we can get information from benevolent spirits too. That's the thing. Like, they can tell us some truth too, but they lie at the same time. But it's popular now. I'm a healer. I'm a Reiki healer. Oh, I'm a tarot reader. Oh, I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. It's like it's trendy. So scammers, this is a good hustle for them. It's a good hustle. It is. I'll admit. And if you don't have integrity and you don't give a fuck, it's easy to come on and just tell people what they want to hear. And like, oh, charge people $500 for a reading. And some people will pay for that. I'm never gonna pay for a reading over no $500. You're gonna have to tell me my day of death, and you're gonna have to tell me, like, you're gonna have to have some crazy information. And even with that, I wouldn't pay $500. I'm just not doing it. Anyway, those of you that is playing with this to get money and to trick people, and you know the truth and you lying, yeah, I feel like y'all gonna get your asses handed to you. Yeah. For those of you that are ignorant and don't know, because I feel like in the beginning I didn't know. I was at the stage one level of divine counterparts when I started my channel. It was about, the connection and how they feel and all of that and what a spirit wanted to know on that type of level. But it didn't really get into me and self, and it didn't go, into depth of self. You know what I mean? It was focusing solely on the connection as a romantic level. It wasn't surpassing that. And that's why Spirit told me to stop reading it at the time, because I didn't have a full understanding of what I was, in, what I was doing, what I was reading into, what I was experiencing. I didn't have the maturity, spiritual maturity level to understand that. So in some instance, I had to stop reading for people those types of energies until I got to a certain place. The spirit was like, okay, because I had to go through something with a person at the time that I thought was my twin flame or whatever. I had to go through that. It was teaching me discernment. It was teaching me not to follow other people's lead. That's the thing too. And I always knew that something was a little off with the whole how they explain twin flames. I'm not saying that they do not exist. I've never said that. The way that it's painted, divine counterparts, I'm using the title and the label because we all identify with it, but I've never said that they weren't real. I said that some of the propaganda and all of that, it's bullshit. It's a fairy tale. It's perfect marketing for people that want to sell something. And yeah, like I said, some people don't know any better what they're doing. So I'm not calling out readers to shame and like anything like that. And I'm not calling anybody out specifically by name or anything like that either. This is for whoever, what you know. And if you didn't know, I hope that this is something to help, maybe spark a question in your mind. Should I be doing these types of readings? And if I am going to continue to do them, I'm going to keep it 100 and keep it real. Otherwise, I'm going to find me something else to read on, or just find another profession rather than fucking people in the ass and lying to them. If you know better, you already know what the deal is. Don't think that you're just going to get away with it. You know better. Can't sit here and keep lying to people and telling them, oh, this person's coming back because it sounds good and you want to keep that money going. You got to keep it real. It's a conviction. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people claim to be twin flames, but they don't have the integrity. They don't have that integrity within them to even stand and even be in the place of the heart. You're still operating off of your fucking ego. So you can't call yourself something divine as a divine counterpart when you're not in your divinity. You're still in your ego. You're still like reading on basic shit because you want to keep subscribers, or you want to keep people, like, masses amount of followers, or you want to look a certain way in the public. You can't continue to do that. Spirituality is not your costume. It's not. So, and anybody else that is like all up in this stuff, like, think twice. Like, is this really something that it's really something that is for me? Like, am I really called to this? Because you gotta, it's a purpose to it. It's not about romance. Like, you could get that somewhere else. Like, go to the bar, go to the club. I mean, you can meet your divine counterpart anywhere, but if you're not focused on your mission and your purpose in life and what you bring to humanity, they're not about spiritual warfare. No, ma'am, they are not. They're about the Disney shit. That's a fragment. No one said that these connections were not beautiful and they were not meant to have that paradise with another person. No one ever said that, but know that it's also spiritual warfare. Love is a very powerful energy. Dark entities do not operate in love. So you think that they want people to truly be with their one? No. Or to even help and inspire and spark people in love. Like, romance goes beyond conditional love just between you and another person. That love is to be shared amongst other people. And your purpose and your mission is something that's placed in your heart for you to share with the world. That is your seed. That is what's in your heart. That is what's in your heart. That's your mission. If you're not about it and you still like stuck on this dude or this female and that's all you think about, and you're not thinking about how to grow, how to better yourself, what can I do to serve humanity in whatever way that I'm guided to. It's not saying you got to be Martin Luther King or Mother Teresa or whatever, but shit, you can be Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, to me, I'm like, y'all can say what y'all want about him, and he was demonized for a reason, was a healer. His music was healing. Like, I can listen to Michael Jackson music and he uplifts my spirit. I can listen to Stevie Wonder and his music is healing. So your calling is different. Your calling is different. It could be anything. Could be feeding people. Could be your restaurant that heals because you're cooking with love. So you're healing people. It could be anything. However, the influence that spirit sparks in you, however spirit wants to use your influence, it is what it is. But if you're just worried about what another person is doing all the goddamn time, you might not be in a divine connection. You're asking for the wrong thing. That's not it. These readers have lied to you, a lot of them. And as long as I've been on here, I also started off watching readers before I even started my own channel back in the day. Like when I first got on here, this person was actually real. She mentioned all of the self-worth, self-love stuff. I had a couple, they were older women, and they got into the truth of it. I don't know if they're still on here on YouTube. I don't know. But just everything ever since then is just a whole bunch of bullshit. And then you can find the truth in it. It'll resonate with you. And it's entertaining, too, at the same time. Some of the shit's entertaining. But it kind of disappoints me that it's rare that you find people that really go into what it really is. I'll say one person that I can name off of my hand. She has a pretty decent following. Nubian News. I like some of her readings. I take what resonates with me. Not everything is for me, but I take what does. I'll say her. Out of all of these readers on YouTube that talks about divine connections and partnerships, I will say that she talks about the real deal, about real shit. Not just that. She goes in. And like I said, I'm not demonizing anybody. If you are in the section, if you know better, bitch, I ain't got nothing else to say to you. If you're ignorant and you don't know, or you're afraid to lose subscribers, I would challenge you to tap into spirit and ask them if this is something that you truly want to do. If this is something that's really meant for you, you're really called to it, and if so, are you really ready to be like open to speak the truth? Because you're going to lose subscribers. You're not gonna have that big cult following. You're not. You're not. And even the sugar-coated readers, people are not pleased anyway, so what are you afraid of? Like, some of these people still don't want to hear what you have to say. They're going to complain about how you shuffle a card. Oh, I can't hear. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, like, they're still going to pick at you. Even the most sweet readers still get picked on. So what are you afraid of if you know that this is something, it's more to it than that? Are you in it for the money? Because if you in it for the money, honey, you already, you know better. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I didn't talk about this topic too much, too long. It's 1:11. People know better. I feel like they know better. Like, if you have a spiritual gift, you know what you're doing. Because there's times where I'll read something and I'll be like, I don't think I should post this because I feel like this is coming out of my ego. I'm not going to read this. Let me put this down. Let me not upload this because I feel like this is my energy. You know better. So if you can tell the difference between that, you know when you're lying to people or when you're over skipping on some shit. Like, oh, I'm not going to tell them that. It doesn't sound good. But they're coming back. They love you. Oh, he can't stop thinking about you, boo. Oh, he wants to leave his karmic for you. He's scared. Whoa, woe is me. Your Prince Charming is a bitch. Like, come on now. And I'm not saying, because some masculine energies, they are wounded, and I have compassion for them, and I'm going to do readings for wounded masculines and feminines more often because I want to help you guys, and I feel like this is a perfect time that feminine and masculine energies are being healed in the way that they need to be healed. But all of that sappy, oh, he can't, he doesn't know what to do, he's lost without you. Like, girl, give me a break. I don't want to hear that. I'm tired of hearing the same story. It's feeding the ego to hear it. To be honest, it feeds the ego. Thank you. One person's karmic is somebody else's divine feminine, divine masculine, just not right. But I'd be like, can we, like, no. I'm telling you, it's entertaining. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll be watching some of these readings, and I'll be like, there's ones that I'm guided to watch. And then there will be times where I'll just go on because my ego and spirit be like, you know, you had no business watching that, and I'll click off. But it's entertaining. It is. And if you're in your ego, you want to hear that somebody is like tripping over you and they can't stop thinking about your ass. Like you the only person in the fucking universe that they should be focused on at this time. Like it feeds the ego. But it's not to say that it's not true, because there's truth in some of these readings. But again, just call it like I did. And I'm not going to say only readers. I'm going to say people that post energy updates. Oh, he's crying and he can't sleep without you. And Divine Feminine is getting on her shit and her man is just like over here just crying. Like, that don't sound like a Divine Masculine to me. It sounds like a bitch to me. But you know, he sounds like he's a little pussy, okay? We all have our meltdowns. We all go through it. But if you saying in that same position for 5 months, goddamn, what is you doing? Like, what's your problem? Like, how long is he going to be crying? How long is he going to be saying, I'm stuck with this bitch and I can't leave her? Like, how long? How long? Send love to your person all day, every day. Yes. Pray for them to have their strength. That's what y'all should be doing. Y'all over here trying to do love spells so he can come back. Bitch, do a love spell that helps the man wake up to who he is. Help him to tap into his heart space. Pray or do a love candle spell so that your man taps into his strength, into his divinity. How about that? Rather than, when is this, oh, how can I get him back? How can I do this? How can I get him away from her? No, boo. You missed out on the unconditional love part. You forgot about that. You focusing on your goddamn self and what you want. And this connection is not even about you or him. Spoiler alert. Girl, bye. No. Like I said, I have ways about me that are not good, just like the next person. Do I sit in that energy? No, not for long. Do I want to change it and clear it up? Yes, and I do it. That's the difference between a divine feminine, divine masculine. If your person is still stuck in their shit and they're not trying to get better, I don't know if that's a divine masculine or if that's your divine masculine, because he might, and you can't make somebody change. That's the thing too. You can't make people change. Yes, we should have compassion. Yes, we should be patient with love, be kind with love, but there's a difference between, somebody just stealing your energy or just wasting your time. There's a difference. It's a clear-cut difference. It does hurt sometimes to find out that maybe a person is not of your highest good when you really want to be with them. That's one of the hardest things to experience, and have to disconnect from a person that you love. Even though they're not of their highest good, you got to disconnect. And if it be that your divine masculine and feminine or whatever is not ready to level up to their calling or their purpose or take heed to what spirit wants them to do, to align themselves with their higher self, you might have to step away for a time. You got to do that for yourself. It's self-love. Spirit will never put you in a situation and make you stay in some bullshit. It's a choice. We choose to stay in that energy or choose to stay in it. As hard as it is, you have the choice to let yourself get out of it. And I would like to say that a lot of people that think their divine masculine is, or person is their divine masculine, is a fucking narcissist. They're not divine masculines. They're narcissists. But they feed off of that light energy. They see the light in you, boo. Don't mistake that person's spiritual self does not see, even if they're not spiritual. Because if they're not tapped into their divinity, there's a part of them that is aware even if they're not consciously aware, they're aware of your energy. They see you, they know who you are, and they want to feed. They're going to feed off of you. They see your light, of course. And that's why you guys got to be very discerning. If you are a quote unquote light worker, you have light in you, you have to be mindful, because people are going to want to feed off that energy. It's a high vibrational energy. High. I'm going to get high off of it. Makes sense? I'm going to get high off of your energy. Sucking from a high vibrational source, I'm getting high. Does that make sense? So, you gotta be discerning if you're dealing with a true divine counterpart, or you're dealing with somebody that just wants to eat off of you, feed off of you. And that happened to me before. And I had a reader tell me that this guy, when I first started my channel, I thought that I was dealing with a twin flame person or connection. That person was not for me. They might be a divine counterpart to somebody else, but they weren't for me. That person was sucking my fucking energy. He was feeding like a motherfucker. He was eating like 10 Chinoa sandwiches a day, probably. He was feeding, and a side of Chinoa juice. He was fucking feeding. He was feasting, let's say. He was having a field day with my energy. Wasn't giving me shit back, but was feeding off that motherfucker. Like, this is good. This tastes good. Give me more. And I was. But I was still in my light work. I was still doing healing. I was sending this person love, and I was trying to like feed into, probably feeding their ego low key, but I was like speaking life into this person. Oh, you know, this, I see this for you, blah, blah. I do that sometimes with people, and I have to be careful with that, because I've done that with a few men before. So I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. And it also taught me a lesson of discernment, because I had two readers tell me, oh, yeah, this is your twin flame and such and such. And I feel like sometimes you got to be discerning, because they could be picking up that you are a divine counterpart, and that person could be a divine counterpart as well, but just not yours. So they could be picking up on the energy of that, or they could be seeing the soulmate energy indicators and all that, but that doesn't mean that they're your one. So, yeah, I learned my lesson. We all have to go through something to learn, and that's why I never beat myself up for the past. Some things I still do. Some things I still be like, oh, why did I do that? Oh, I'm stupid. But there's certain things I get the why, and why it had to happen. You know what I mean? If it didn't happen, I wouldn't have known better, why that happened. I wouldn't have known better. Um, Other than that, yes, it's very important that you protect your energy, and it's not just from love. It's like people around you. I had a situation yesterday with a family member, like a scary incident that happened, and it was like it came out of nowhere. I'm not going to say it came out of nowhere. I was in a space. It was just me and God. I was spending some time praying. I was praying about, my situation, and praying for those I was guided to pray for. And then I got interrupted with, a scary incident with my family. And it's just certain things you got to be mindful of what's trying to stop things from moving. And it can't stop. It might be able to delay things, but it can't wholeheartedly stop what's going on. So, yeah. It can't stop. You can't stop what's meant to happen for you in your life, or if it's a divine connection, it's going to happen. That's the thing. We got to remind ourselves that it's spirit promised union for you, because spirit loves, the universe loves love. It does. That is a high vibrational energy. It's a beautiful energy. It's a strong essence, strong radiant energy, a strong vibration, a strong frequency, whatever you want to call it. Spirit loves unions. Spirit loves people coming together. That's what God wants. The universe, source, whatever you want to call it. This universe is in fucking mess because of separations, because of hate and evil and power, false power, by the way. All those dark energies. That's why the universe is at the state that it's in. That's why fucking planet looks the way that it does because man got too big for their own pants. Earth is ghetto. Yes, I love that TikTok. But it is ghetto. Have no type of compassion for humanity, for animals, for plants, and for the oceans and everything. Like, it's just ours. We just gonna do what we will with it. God is like, bitch, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm about to correct some things, and it's gonna hurt for some people to correct, but I'm about to correct it. So spirit loves unity and loves love. Spirit does not want nobody to be lonely. Whether you be the person that's not desiring to be in a romantic connection or that's not meant for you, that's not something that, when I say this, it's not saying that you're a person that desires love and spirit's not going to give it to you. You might be one of those people that don't give a shit about romantic connections like that, but you're open to it, or you find comfort in family and friends and things like that. Some people are just those types of people. Some people are literal hermits in life. They're their own entity, their own person. They don't have to have a partner. That's not a desire. But for those that do desire it, spirit does want unions for people. Spirit wants that for us. As long as this universe, or this planet I should say specifically, stands, to keep it going, you gotta have creation, physical creation of what brings a child forth, what that is. As long as this universe stands. Some people in the spiritual community, the conscious community, be like, oh, this universe is the worst planet you can be on, and I'm not bringing any more kids into this universe. But as long as spirit has this place up, people won't have to inhabit it, the earth. It is what it is. However you want to see it. Some people are not meant to come back here, and some people are meant to come here, and some people are meant to come back here for whatever reason and purpose that may be. So without family, without unity, without that divine connection that brings forth these beautiful children and families together and communities together, that's not something that God doesn't want for us. God doesn't want that, or the universe, our creator, doesn't want that for us. So this isn't to say that you shouldn't have love or you'll never have it, because that is the most beautiful thing in the world. The thing is if you're constantly chasing something, and I believe that spirits will use people to deter you off your path, or to distract you into believing that something is meant for you, so you chase it so much that you miss out on what's for you. But you can't, even with that, it's not, because it's not meant to happen. What's for you is never going to pass you by, and that's something to remind yourself always. Anything. If you feel like an opportunity passed you by, it wasn't meant to be, or wasn't meant to be at the time, or wasn't the right divine timing, or if something with someone rejects you, it's protection. It's divine protection. And I'd rather be like, spirit, give me what's meant for me rather than what's not for me. Because me chasing, and I've learned that lesson too, like wanting somebody or wanting something so bad, even though it wasn't of my highest good. And spirit knows best. A higher self, our spiritual team, whatever you want to call it, knows what's best for us and knows what we're really truly asking for within ourselves. We haven't fully mastered ourselves as a human. We can't say that we fully know what we want to full capacity, because that's why when people manifest things, they be like, oh, this is better than what I expected. Because as a human, we have a limited perception of things, not because we're low vibrational. It's because of a human form. We can only see so much within our human self and fathom things so much from that space that we're in. Our higher self is able to see above and beyond what it is that we need, because it's a higher intelligence, right? So you can want something all day, but it's like, why do I want this? That's the thing now, to start asking. I used to like want people, and now I'm more discerning and be like, okay, why am I attracted to that person? Why do I want that person? What is it in me that do I really like? Is that really meant for me? Is it really of my highest good? And you got to think about it in that perspective now. I used to just go off of my ego with wanting people. Oh, because he makes me feel like this, and oh, he's fine, and oh, you know, he seems like he would be a good fit for this, and it's not anything really based off of something that uplifts me and motivates me, or vice versa for them. It's just a seasonal connection. It's just something to just waste time. And with that, spirit is like, nah, you need to sit your ass down and you need to focus on yourself, and what's meant for you is going to come, and you'll know when you find it. And if you have find it, you need to be patient and let me do the work, because your controlling ass think you in control and you're not in control. So, sit down, be humble, sit down. I'm like, okay, spirit, I know I ain't in control, but let me try it one more again. Spirit's like, no. I'm very stubborn, but and another spoiler alert, like, shit, we all divinely connected to each other. If you want to go a little deeper into that, we're all divinely connected. The thing is it a true divine connection? The spirit is like, this is for you, this is good for you, this is what I want for you. Or is it just a seasonal connection that, you have a connection with the person, but is it meant to last? Is it built for that? Is it just a waste of time? I don't believe that any connection is a waste of time, but you can overextend the time. Let's just say that. Whew. Mm. Have compassion with yourself. I don't know if I'm cutting people, in two and half. I hope I'm splitting people open. I hope I'm doing that, actually. But I just hope that I'm not like, I don't want to be that one that's like, oh, she's a bitch. And even if you think I'm a bitch, I mean, it is what it is. I'm like, I try to, keep it light and keep it goofy, because I am goofy, but I mean what I say, though. I mean what I say. I meant what I said, and I'm that type of person. It's like, oh, I hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. They're gonna be mad at me. Like, oh, what? Shut up. Get out of your way. It's not about you, boo. It ain't about you. And my sister says that, and I hate when she says that. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Don't tell me that this is not about me, bitch. I'm the queen of my own universe. Like, bitch, you thought. Sister girl, you thought. No, it's not about you. I'm like, okay, spirit, I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, okay? I'm gonna do it. But yes. To the light and fluffy stuff before I pull cards, because I'm reading technically. This is a reading. Y'all know that, right? I don't need the cards. I hope y'all know this is a reading, because I used to be like, oh, I'm just ranting. No, this is a reading too. It's just a little non-traditional, but it's still a reading. The light and fluffy stuff when it comes to divine connections. Because we can get in our ego too with our divine connections when we think that, oh, I surpassed the desire. I don't want nothing. I'm good. I don't want this person. I'm okay. That energy like, oh, I got this. F him. I'm about to do me. Oh, I don't care about union. I've been there. Oh, I don't care, spirit. Oh, get this away from me. Fuck love for the rest of my life. I don't care. Woe is me. Hands on my forehead. Oh, girl, bye. Like I said, love is needed. We need love. And not in a desperate way, but the energy and essence of what love is that is who we are. That is our light. So to denounce that and say that you don't want love, or if you do know who your person is or whatever, the person that has been called for you, and you're pushing them away, you're hurting yourself. And it physically does hurt. Let me, like, for real, it does hurt. When I say, oh, fuck love, oh, it's never going to happen for me, or oh, it's just stupid, oh, this is dumb, oh, I don't need this, and blah, 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 get this away from me. When I do that, it physically hurts. Like, it hurts my body to even say that. And it might not be me. It could be wounded parts of me, or it could be something that's trying to, like, fuck up the whole program. But it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't. So embrace what you desire and what you feel. That fire was ignited in you for a reason, whether it be with the persons or people that you thought it should have been with, or the person that you wanted to be with, if it be them or not, it is going to be with the person that it's meant for, but that spark is not meant to die. That's the whole trick. Like, that's the whole thing, is to get you to a place of not desiring that thing that's truly meant for you. Because I do feel like people that have desires for love, it is a beautiful desire. The wounded parts of us can amplify it and look at love as something outside of self. We can't grasp it, we can't have it, or it's too difficult, or I'm too difficult to love, or I'll never find it. We get into that place. But the desire for love is not a bad thing. And I had to teach myself that too. The desire for love is not bad. The obsession part of it, that's not, we don't need that today. We can do without that. Or the wounded parts of self that looks at it as something outside of self. But to know your person is to know you. And a lot of times your person will mirror back to you what it is that you need to heal. But anybody that is a part of your soul tribe or spirit uses as a mirror is going to reflect things back to you that you need to heal. If it's something that bothers you, if it's something that triggers you, it's something that is unhealed within, and your job is to figure out what that is. But your divine counterpart should be that one of those sparks that inspire you to get on your shit, to level up. I do believe that spirit reveals what your mission is to you and your person. It could be like it's told differently. It's told in parts to one person and one person differently. But nonetheless, you both recognize that there is something significant about this connection. I said this in a video that I just posted, the Love Vibes video. It can't be one person gets it and the other person doesn't get it. Whether the person has to get online, that's different. But it will never be that you're constantly trying to convince. You ain't got to convince shit. If the person is who they say they are, or spirit told you who this person is, they're going to get it. Spirit's going to tell them. It's not ever going to be you know it all and this person is just fucking stuck on stupid and they don't get it. Even if they're not woke, as we say, or consciously aware, they're going to know somewhere in the fiber of their being that there's something about you, whether it scares them. Because be honest, it might. I'm gonna speak for myself. It does too. It scares me too at times. Like you, to be honest, like a supernatural connection. Let's put it that way. A supernatural connection is something that goes outside of the physical norm or the worldly norm of things. It will freak you out. It will make you feel like you're crazy. But I feel like spirit will validate and confirm things for you. It's not something that you got to go out and figure out and buy, or look outside of yourself to find. Spirit's going to lead you to what you need to know. Spirit's going to guide you and lead you to that, and your person's going to get it. I shared this couple's testimony before. It was a couple that I found online through another page. It was a YouTube a guy. He does prophetic messages or whatever. They're a Christian couple, but if you listen to their story, it sounds like what people would call a twin flame story. At first, he was like, "No, I don't feel like we're meant to be together. Um, I don't feel like we're supposed to be together. I feel like I'm just supposed to be your friend, here to speak life into you, give you the word of God, blah blah blah." And she backed the fuck up. She's like, "Okay, he's not seeing." She had a lot of faith. I mean, it could easily be that she was delusional or she just had a lot of faith in God, but her story turned out to be factual. It is what it is. They are supposed to be together because he got it later on. Spirit told him that they were supposed to be together, that they had a purpose together. So it's never going to be you're trying to convince or you're somebody else trying to convince you. It's never going to be that. I've been in both places trying to convince a motherfucker that it is something that it wasn't. And I've had people try to convince me that it was something because, their desire of conviction, oh, it was so strong that, oh, it's this, or I thought that about someone else. But if it's not a mutual exchange of energy, you're in it by yourself, and it's not that. And that's not to discourage you. That's to say, okay, it's not them, but there is someone that is my spark, because I wouldn't be seeking to find something if it wasn't within me, if that makes sense. So I really feel like um, sometimes spirit doesn't give us instant gratification of what we want because it's meant to discipline us. It's showing us things about ourselves. It's revealing parts of us. Um, it reveals those aspects of us, our discipline, our areas of where we need to strengthen. I don't want to call it weakness, but areas where we need to strengthen ourselves. Spirit will use that separation from your divine connection to do that. So for me, ironically, mine is patience and control. That's one of my things. The wounded aspect, spirit revealed a lot of different wounds within me that would actually be a hindrance to a connection, such as a supernatural, divine, loving, whatever, beautiful, healthy connection. It would be a disservice to it. So thank God that I'm not in a connection with somebody, because I would just fuck it up. And who knows what their, their things, their blind spots are as well. Like, it's a reason why people are in separation. It's not to hurt you or harm you. When you're in separation, it's a time for you to get close to spirit and go within yourself and really figure out where you're at with you. What am I supposed to be doing? What are you requiring me to do? That's what separation is for. You're separated for a reason. It's not a period of this person's stupid and he's not getting it. He's slow. Oh, he's stuck with the karmic. It's bigger than that. It's much more to it. Another thing too, as well, is slip my mind. Spirit, help me bring it back. Separation reveals parts of yourself, your wounds, things like that. Oh, another thing too, that spirit might withhold you being with the person or being with them at a time or the time that you want, or maybe they even want. The book that spirit led me to get was Megan Good and her husband Devon Franklin's book called The Wait. And I'm like, I don't know why spirit's guiding me to read these books, but I'm going to get it because I felt guided to. And I felt drawn to her story. So I was guided to get it. So reading the book, it actually revealed different aspects of the wait. I've been celibate for like 2 years. So you can look at it from a place, and I'm not judging anybody based off of this, but sex does really cloud a person's judgment a lot. Instant gratification of sex and constantly, like, it can cloud your judgment and take away from a lot of the getting to know a person on a deep level without that layer, without that veil of sex being there, that veil of lust being there. It will take a lot of that process of getting to know. So sometimes spirit will take away the aspect of the romantic thing, and it might just be that you both need to get to know each other. And I feel like that's beautiful. Like, if you can't be friends with your person, there's something wrong with that. Like, I've been in relationships with people that I probably wouldn't want to even really be their friend. I'm like, why am I even with this ninja? Like, I can't stand him. Like, ugh. Like, I can't stand his friends. Why am I even with him? Like, ugh. Like, it just, you got to think twice about it. Like, you want to have all layers of union. People only focus on the lust and romantic aspects of it. Oh, I want this person. I want to fuck them. I want to kiss them. I want to have babies with them. They don't think about the other layers, that this is someone that I would like to be intimate with on another level, reveal myself to them, be vulnerable with this person, get to know them, get to know what their hopes and dreams are, their fears are, whatever. Like, getting to know the depth of a person. Like, people don't think about that. They just think about what they want, and a lot of times it's just fuck it. There's nothing wrong with that, because God created that too. That is a pleasure that we are deserving of as well. But it's like, with caution, with discernment, because not everybody deserves to get in that portal, because you don't want none of their shit in your portal. Okay, you don't want that gunk in there, and you don't want to stick your sock, your plug into somebody's wound that's dark and lower vibrational, that's just gonna suck up all your magic out your wand. You don't want to do that. You gotta be careful who goes both ways, not just feminine, but men too. Like, y'all gotta be careful who y'all slide in, because some of these heifers is like dark energies. And then you're wondering why you can't like leave the bitch alone even though you don't like her. Like, who is that heifer? We're getting back into the world of things. This it's like this thoughtful, call them thoughtfuls, this thought on what's her name, Selena Powell. Like, women like that, you'll look at her and be like, what the fuck, why are these men like getting stuck? And I don't feel like they even really truly like fuck with her like that, but something is just like a mermaid. La Serena, a mermaid. I've been called a mermaid too, but it is what it is. I resonate with mermaids. She do be lying, but at the same time, it's like certain situations. I feel like she's a witch, a dark witch at that, and she cloaks her energy to look a certain way. She's really like, if you look at her with your spiritual eye, she's actually very ugly. I don't feel like, and I'm not trying to talk bad about people. I'm using her as an example, as a real fucking example. Like, if you really look at her, she's not really that appealing to the eye. She does look like a succubus already. She looks like what people would call a Jezebel on the surface. But if you strip all of that stuff off of her, she's ugly. And I'm not talking about when she takes her makeup off and all of that. I'm talking about her spiritual form. She's ugly. And I feel like she uses glamour magic to lure some of these people in. Because it's like, there's no way you could be that stupid. You know her track record. She's a witch. She's a witch, a dark one. Because you know, like, if you know a person's track record, you know she, like, what she's about, whether she's telling the truth about you or she's lying on you, you know what she's about, and you still fuck with her. There's something going on. And I feel like she's only able to get people that are not in their spiritual power. It's easy to get people like that. Men, unfortunately, are easy to cast spells on. Because they looking at that ass, they looking at that booty, they trying to figure out what that mouth do. They ain't thinking about, this bitch is about to suck my energy and play the fuck out of me. They're not thinking on that level. So, yes, men need to be more cautious with who they slide in, because these women out here, even if they don't know that they're witches, their spiritual form, they you know, just like we got good powers, we got negative powers. Whether you call yourself a witch or not, a warlock, a wizard, because some of these ninjas, I done had some wizards talk me out of my jaws in my day, and I didn't know any better because I wasn't spiritually aware. So, you just gotta be aware, okay? What type of wizards and witches and whatever you want to call them, like, what type of energies you working with. And I will say this. Don't drink nobody's drink, okay? Because people could put spells in drinks without putting anything in them. Just for your information. Just so you know. And it's easy to get you when you're under the influence of some type of substance or smoking. It's easy to cast a spell on you. It could be a seduction spell. It could be a glamorous spell. It's easy to do that. So men do that. I feel like men's way of doing, that's how you know you fucking with a wizard. I feel like, wow, I just, like, I don't know. I just had a revelation about something. The drinks, when they give you a drink and y'all sipping and y'all talking, it's like your mind is sedated. It's going somewhere else, and they're, getting you warmed up. And you getting warmed up all right. You gotta be careful of the men too, okay? I'm just saying. Just like the ladies, I'm letting the ninjas know, because some of you guys know and some of you don't know that some of these heifers be putting these veils, as my sister says, putting these veils up on you through different forms of magic, whether they're buying you something, be like my sister was saying, and it makes so much sense that when you wear an item from somebody, be careful who you accept gifts from. That's another thing I'm learning. Not only who you eat food from, that's why people pray over their food, because they don't know what energy the person was in while they were cooking it. Because when you're cooking food, you're putting energy into it. It's something that's going into your body. So you definitely want to pray over your food, or be cautious of where you go eat. Like, if you don't like a person's vibe or something like that, like, okay, she's not cooking my food, like, no. Or, no, I don't want this person serving my food, or I'm not eating here, I don't trust it, something off. Honor that. If it's someone giving you a gift, You gotta be mindful of having those items. You know how some people say like you feel bad vibes when you have certain items in your house? It could be the person's energy was like somewhere else, or wherever they got it from was some, some weird shit. Or the person that gave you it, their intentions may have, if you're dealing with a high level witch, someone that knows what they're doing when they're feeding you food, if you don't trust somebody, don't eat their fucking food. I'm just telling you, even if they don't know what they're doing. But a high level witch knows what she's doing. She'll probably give you a gift. Make sure you wear that motherfucker so I can like keep you locked down, okay? When you take it off, my sis put me up on this, but it also opened my eyes to other things too. So some of these men be wondering why they are stuck on something. It's because most likely they're under some type of spell, whether the girl knows what she's doing or not. And a lot of these Instagram models, like if you really look at them, they're very ugly in energy and spirit. Like they look beautiful, bad, a lot of them. If you really take that as like look at their essence and their energy, look beyond the veil and the cloak and the glamour, they're ugly. And when I say that, like their energetic form might as well be the grandma off or the stepmother off of Snow White, with just keeping it 100. And some of these men too, you be like, ugh. Like you doing too much for me. Like if it's just like you're doing too much, I don't trust you. Yep, you're gonna see a lot of quote unquote bad bitches try to like step into that. Oh, I'm a goddess. I'm a queen stuff, because that's like a layer of spirituality. Like on an ego level, we all been on that level where, oh, I'm this goddess, I'm this queen and stuff like that. Not to say that you don't hold that essence, but not the title of being worshipped. There's a difference between goddess. A god is energy, God's energy, rather than glorifying yourself as a idol of worship. And I feel like that's what a lot of these bitches do. And they kind of put themselves, excuse my language, women, these females do. They put themselves in these positions of thinking that they're being spiritual when they use these titles, but it's just more, it's more so revealing who they really are. Like you're vain. You're still in your vanity. You haven't really tapped into your spiritual self because you calling yourself a goddess and I'm a queen. I'm a this and I'm a that. Like it's a difference between knowing who you are and what you're about. So it's a difference. I feel like it's easy to see for me. I can easily read through it. And I looked at some of my old pictures and I'm going to call my own self out. Back in the day, when I first like started learning some shit about spirituality and learning about, my ancestors and queens and, the gods and all this and the temples and all that. When I started learning about those things, it was kind of like a ego thing. It was like an ego boost. Like, oh, I'm a queen. I'm a god. Oh, I'm a black goddess, black queen, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a thing. And I would look at myself and it was a little bit of vanity there. I'm just keep it 100. It's a difference between being confident versus being vain. And I look at some of my older pictures when I was on that, and it was because I was ignorant. I didn't really know any better. I was still learning. Still learning. But yeah, some of these people like out here like trying to like play like they're so spiritual and, oh, I'm a queen, I'm a god. It's a costume. It's an ego thing. It's trendy. It looks cute, and I can see right through the shit. Especially with men too, like them hoteps might as well be the fuck boys of the conscious community, because that's what a lot of them are. They're fuck boys. Like I ain't trying to hear that. Like, yeah, you might know this and that. Oh, I know something about Marcus Garvey and the pyramids and all this fuckery and all this shit. But it's an ego thing to say, oh, I know some shit. That's all that is. I'm calling people out. Oh my god. Oh well. Oh, well, I'm just being honest. And I can be compassionate for the babies that don't know, like, they don't know any better in the spiritual community. They're learning, like, who they are, relearning, really, discovering who they truly are, because we're lost, but it's there, you know what I mean? Yes, queen. Yes, kings. Yes. I'd be like, but I call my sisters, goddesses and queens and stuff every now and we call each other that too, but it's it's not a costume. You know, we could tap into our essences and energies through certain things. I do believe in embodying the energy of whatever goddess or god that you resonate with. You know, Oshun or Isis is like one of mine. Kali is one of mine. Shakti is one of mine. But it's not like I'm not. It's like an ego thing. Like it's. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like some people just don't understand in its ignorance, and I feel like some people just hop on it and they don't really want to know. They don't really want to know the truth. They just want to just hop on some shit. Dragon, greetings, dragons too. Um, what did she say? Dragon said, very true. Angelina's beautiful but powerful. However, Selena cyclically, the magic she does seem to come out of. Mm, hmm. But I don't feel like a lot of people really mean what they say. They're not sincere in their spiritual walk and their spirituality. It's a trend. It looks cute, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree on some level. I mean, if you trace back far enough to any culture, you're going to find the black in it. I'm just saying. But you know. But the truth is, and it's interesting that you said what you said, Natalie. The truth is like when we say we know something, still we yet we don't really know anything at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we don't really know. We know things, but at the same time, we don't know shit. We be like, oh, I thought I knew, but I really don't fucking know. Like, really. So don't look at yourself as like, oh, I'm stupid. I mean, we can be ignorant on different levels. There's things that I didn't know that maybe somebody else been knowing 20 years ago. So it's not about how much you know and that makes you better than the next person. It's not about that. But let's not abuse spirituality. Let's not abuse what spirituality is, and let's not put it in a box, because it's not just sage and crystals and Florida water and the orishas and chakras and all. It's not just those levels of things. It's much more than that. It's vast. It's because spirit is vast. It is infinite. It's ancient. It's not something we could put in a box. Why would we want to? Why would we want to put ourselves in boxes? Just saying. Why would we want to do that? Doesn't make sense. But we gonna learn. We gonna learn today. Spirit says we gonna learn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yes, they're using magic on us and telling us it's evil and we shouldn't do it, and they using it, but they might be using it, obviously they're using it for the wrong reasons, but flipping what was something that connected us to our source, to our spirit, taking it and flipping it and raping it and doing all kind of stuff and fucking us with it. Right. Yeah, MK Ultra. Uh, I I'll be honest, I don't know like too much about it, but I feel like they're using it on, us on different levels. Okay, I hope I did split somebody's wig with the crown chakra. I hope I did. I hope I did. Split someone's wig open to the point of some type of crown chakra to face a shadow. Face your light, face your shadow. That makes sense, Dara. I agree. Conflict and defeat in reverse. So, if not this message, then something else that spirit points you to, something that you're led to within yourself that awakens. Because the shadow card represents the moon card. If I'm not mistaken, one of y'all said there's a full moon coming. Is it on the 1st? I think it's on the 1st of October. I think it is. I could be wrong, but I feel like it is. I think it is. I think it's October 1st. Well, depending on where you are in the world, but if I'm not mistaken, it's a full moon. Okay, thank you. Aries, all right, it's Aries full moon. So it could be a lot that's revealed. And you know Aries energy deals with the first house. Aries deals with Mars, passion, war. Um, Aries also represents the self, the I am placement of the zodiac. So it's like a lot of reflecting upon self. My sister's calling me. It's funny. She's an Aries. That's funny, Spirit. You funny. You funny. You funny. I'll call her back. But check to see where Aries is in your chart, so you kind of get a gist of what it is that what your where your point of focus is, or where your shadow, like where you need to place your focus on that. 5 in reverse, the 5 of conflict and defeat. So this is like something that you shouldn't want to run away from, because it's enlightening you in some type of way. It's revealing a lot to you at this time. I feel like it's different layers, different layers, different levels, just depending on the self. Let's see. Queen of Cups. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind. 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups. Yes, walking away from an illusion within self, but be kind with you. Be kind with yourself. You have 3 cup cards here. Queen of Cups, 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups. So walking away from some type of illusions of certain things, for some of you collectively, it can manifest itself differently, just eliminating what's no longer needed in your life. Some of you guys may have some very profound dreams. I do feel Queen of Cups is a psychic energy. 7 of Cups is a dream energy. Like I said, protect your dreams. Dream space, Knight of Wands. Your dream activity is going to be mad crazy during this full moon, I feel like. Let me see what my sister's talking about. You have the Page of Cups. Beautiful messages coming through for you. She gonna send me Landon Romano. Girl. Yeah, so the Page of Cups, I feel, is like a beautiful message that's being delivered, that's being gifted to you. It could be something like a childlike energy, could be a lot of visions. Might seem like it's a little crazy, but in order to fully tap into this, you got to tap into that childlike energy to grasp what spirit is showing you. So this could be a vision. It doesn't necessarily have to be an actual sleep time dream. It could be a vision. But be open to what spirit is showing you. You got a lot of cups. What the hell? I know we said Aries. Aries is fire. What we got? What is this? What is this? Spirit, what is this? What season are we in? We're in Libra season. Yeah, so what is all this? What's going on? I will say this, Scorpio. Scorpio season is right around the corner. It could be tied into that a little bit. That Scorpion energy is an energy of empowerment, rebirth, transformation, spiritual death and rebirth, that type of process. So I feel like it could be Scorpio energy here, but it's a lot of cleansing and purification with these cups. A lot of psychic energy. I'm getting psychic energy strong, because cups to me is like intuitive energies. It's the receptive. It's a feminine suit, along with the pentacles. Cups are feminine principles. So that energy of receptivity. And I also feel like it's an energy of flushing out and cleansing out. Cups. Lovey-dovey, the 10 of Cups at the bottom. So there's like a beautiful energy that's coming in, I feel. The more you really sit with your own energy, I feel like the more you're going to find God in it within yourself, in the things that Spirit wants to show you. And the message and my motto, I'm going to take this motto, mojo, whatever. I'm going to take this with me. This prophetic channel that I watched, she made a good point the other night. She was like, don't focus so much on the gift, but focus on the gift giver. However you want to take that. So rather than focusing on the things outside of yourself, focus on the divine that's giving it to you, because Spirit is going to reveal so much to you. And I can attest to that. It is real. It is true. When I put my face towards God, towards going within myself, Spirit reveals a lot to me. But if I'm focusing outside of myself and I'm not seeing clearly, I'm hitting too many blind spots. It's like I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. Let me backtrack. Temperance at the top of the deck. Sagittarius energy. So this energy could well go into Sagittarius, could manifest itself or spill over. But these energies, that this cup energy, whatever it is that you're receiving, whatever it is that you're releasing and healing, it's adding to your cup. So as you release, you also have room for more to be given to you. Spirit is going to pour into you at this time, whether it be through visions, whether it be through imagination and joy, through ideas, creativity, which Pisces energy, I feel like with the Page of Cups is Pisces energy of imagination, creativity, that childlike energy. Knight of Wands, passion, ambition. There's going to be a drive I feel like it's going to motivate you going into Sagittarius season. I feel something with Sagittarius too. Scorpio and Sagittarius season, these energies are going to reflect itself moving into those months, if that makes sense. Let's see. I'm going to pull from these cards. I like these cards too. Express your joy. Yes. Express yourself. So this is a good time maybe for creative things. And like I said, Aries energy is all about self, and so focusing on you is it's going to help bring out something beautiful in everybody, but in its own way, differently. It's going to manifest differently. Raise your vibration. Trust the divine plan. Most importantly, focus on the divine, the gift giver, the promise giver, rather than the promise or the gift. Focus on that. Raise your vibration. Wake up call. Some type of wake up call to action. I'm surprised the Judgment card didn't come out. Top card. Claim your art. Yes, like I said, with the Pisces energies, creative energies, imagination. Tap into all of that. Could spark something beautiful for you guys that are creatives, whatever your form of art is, if it's a business idea, if it's manifestation, whatever it is that Spirit points you to. Okay? Alrighty. I hope that this guys, girls, whoever's watching, I know this was like doing too much. A little. Because I got on here like probably around 11, 12 o'clock, and it's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was supposed to be doing something, so I need to get off of here. Hopefully, this message was not in vain, that this message came right at time. Because, I can go in a little bit. Oh, I know about Miss Jaguar, right? I know all about her. She's a Taurus, yeah. I mean, I can kind of resonate with her delivery a little bit. I will admit. She's kind of like me. She's like, no lube, bitch. Bend over. I mean, I try to put a little lube on it before I start, but like sometimes you ready, you not, okay? So hopefully this message came at the divine right time that you needed it. Hopefully it was healing, enlightening. Share it with someone out of love. Don't take nothing I said out of context and try to flip it and reverse it in some way and start some shit, okay? because some people are good for that. All right. Some people are good for that. Will flip and like reverse what I said and try to make it do what it do, and it's not what I said. I said what I said. Take what I said and say it like that. Don't try to flip it. Don't try to put no other sauce on it. Don't try to switch it to an agenda. Say it how it is, okay? If you're gonna like take what I said, because I'm not changing what I said about the spiritual community. I'm not taking back what I said about these readers out here. I ain't taking that shit back. I meant what I said, and I was convicted to say what I said, even though I don't feel comfortable saying it wholeheartedly. I was convicted to say it, and I'm going to honor it, and I'm going to say what I said. I'm not taking back anything I said in this video whatsoever. Whether you like it or not, or whether anybody else likes it or not, I'm going to say what I say, okay? All right, much love as always. I appreciate you guys. Catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, be blessed, be safe.